Hello, welcome to our Ability Skills Knowledge Fraternity. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining and stay with us till the end. Once again, I am Muhammad Usman, host and internee in Ability Skills Knowledge Fraternity. Firstly, I want to say about today's free webinar or session. Today's webinar is workable for those who lose their confidence and don't trust and have suspect on oneself. I hope today's webinar will be effective who are struggling with own personality. Every day, some new participant joined with us. So I have to give little concept about ability, skills, knowledge, fraternity. What is Ask Fraternity? Ask Fraternity stands for Ability, Skills, Knowledge, Fraternity. It is an online platform which aims to enhance the skills of the youth living across the world. It promotes the talent of the humans and also provides earning platform. Ask offers free international webinars, workshops, and paid short courses. Its origin is in Pakistan, founded by Dr. Aksar Abani and Mr. Zain Khan as a vice president. Mr. Arshia Kainat is working as a CEO and management controller in Ask Fraternity. Our collaborative partners are Go Study, Global Education from China, and Right Vision Training Academy Center, UK. Motto of Ask Fraternity is creating new leaders by nourishing and promoting the talent of common people is the main purpose of Ask Fraternity. Its slogan is sometimes choosing a different path from others doesn't mean isolating yourself, it means you know who you are. I am warmly welcoming in all you. Today we are presenting the webinar on schizophrenia with speaker Naomi Rossell. She is a professional speaker and book writer from Malaysia. So let's start our program. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Naomi Rossell.
Hi, hello everyone. Is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am, you are clear.
Okay, can I start? Okay, I'll start. Thank you. Thank you, Usman. Thank you for the warm
Welcome, ma'am.
welcome. Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. It's good to see all of you. So, today we'll be presenting another mental health related topic, which is schizophrenia. So, this topic is related to mental health because in under mental health there are a lot of topics. So, one of the topic is this could be all same symptoms and uh, things, but this particular schizophrenia is something which is more to delusional and hallucination. So we will be learning about that today. So overview of schizophrenia is a serious mental disorder which people interpret reality abnormally, which is they do not know how to define between reality and which is it's not reality. They will think that their mind is not straight, their mind is messy. So, schizophrenia may result in some combination of hallucination, delusion, extreme disordered thinking, and behavior that impairs daily functioning and can be disabling because this thing, if not able to sort out, they will go into a hallucination where they do not know which is reality, which is not reality. They do not know how to differentiate that because these people are people who overthink. If they have a situation, they do not know how to handle that situation and they will think into a negative way and the thought will process into their brain. So that combination of hallucination, they will think that if given a situation, for example, I like to give a situation of if they're sitting for exam, okay, the question may be hard for them, but for them in their delusion, they will think that even the question doesn't make sense, but actually the question makes sense. It's just that they are not prepared. So when people who have mental disorder, their thinking will be disoriented. They can't think straight. They always make mistake. Their mind is messy because their mental health is not stable and this actually can affect your daily life function and also your future because it will disable a lot of things in your mind. You can't make decision, you can't communicate with people, you can't be in group. So schizophrenia, early signs of schizophrenia in young adults. They are nervousness. These people will have stage fright. They will be nervous all the time. The nervous start out of sudden because our brain is the nervous system. So when the nervous system is affected, this is the main thing will happen. They will be always nervous. They do not know how to handle the situation. They will be all the time scared, and these people will be like disoriented. When you're scared, you can't think straight. You will be disoriented. Second will be restlessness. Always restless. They can't sleep. They can't concentrate. They'll be having a poor concentrate on studies. When it comes to kids, they can't perform in their studies. They can't play with kids in a group in a school. They cannot go into sports because they feel restless. Their brain is not in rest. There's something going on in their brain, not like normal people. The third sign will be depression. Depression where they will be when you think a lot, when you're stressed out a lot, the next stage will be depression. You will be depressed. You cannot think. Your mind will be totally stressed, and this will cause a lot of thinking, delusional, hallucination. This is where happen where you cannot differentiate between reality and non-reality, and then followed by anxiety. You'll start to feel panic attack. You do not know what's going on with you. For example, these people will have schizophrenia disorder. For example, if they are driving, if they have panic attack, they can just let go of the steering and accident can occur. So these people, when the panic attacks come, they do not know how to handle. They will go crazy. The fifth will be trouble concentrating. They won't have clear mind to concentrate on certain thing. If they're studying, they'll be having very hard time to concentrate because their mind is not straight, their mind is not clear. It's always has been disoriented. There's been thinking a lot of things. Like I said, the situation might be different, but they interpret it in different way because they do not know how to differentiate between reality and non-reality. And the fifth one will be unclear thinking. They cannot think clear. They cannot come out with conclusion. They cannot handle situation. They cannot make decision. Whatever they make decision is out of their delusional or hallucination. And they will have very low self-confidence. When they speak, you can see that they don't speak out of confidence. They will be always have this self-doubt and everything. So they cannot be a speaker or they cannot do anything which have to show their self confidence. They always will be have lower self esteem, low energy levels. Always they feel very tired, very low. They are not like normal people, cheerful because a lot of things going on behind their head. They'll be hallucinating in their own world. They are not will be like normal people thinking like mingling with normal people, talking to normal people. Their world is different. They will be in their own world. So the energy will be very low and their energy is not positive, it's always negative. Severe decline in work or school performance. When they have schizophrenia disorder, they cannot perform. They cannot work because they cannot work in a community. They cannot work in a school group. So students will have poor performance, low grade. Eventually, they will come out of school because they cannot concentrate. So, this is something we need to look into if our kids or anyone at home is facing this because schizophrenia is very dangerous if you are not going to notice in the early stage because when it became worse, it's very hard to treat because brain once you have hallucination, it's very hard to come back to normal. So it's better to prevent than cure because prevention is always better. And this kind of people, they don't like mingle with another. They will have social withdrawal because they can't mingle with people because the thinking will clash. We think different, they think different. So how we interpret is different, they interpret different. So they often will have arguments and They will have a delusion about you. Oh, you're accusing me, for example, like that. So these people can't think straight. Next, the different type of negative schizophrenia symptom. Like we say, communication problem where they can't communicate properly because, for example, if you give them colors, they will be having very hard time even to remember the little things, colors, pronunciation, certain words, certain place they can't remember. They will hallucinate something else. And also they will have this lack of avoid. They will avoid certain things. If they want to do, they will avoid because they don't want to face the situation. For example, if they need to do the exam for a student, they will never do the exam. They just close the paper and they come back. And one more thing, the relationship between a group. For example, if they're having a group studies when it comes to you can see this schizophrenia kids, they cannot concentrate because for them the studies, whatever they're studying, it will not go into their brain. When they study they can understand. They don't even know what they're reading about because their mind can't process that. It will be very hard for them to process, even though like I said, it's simple thing as colors, red colors. For them, it's like, it's a very hard word for them to interpret in their mind. For them, red is something else. They will interpret in their own world, in their own hallucination. So we have to know and we have to find out if our kids or anyone at home or any of your friends are facing this type of symptoms, you can actually alert them. You can actually find out, oh, this person has some kind of problem. We need to educate them or at least help them. So that is the reason we are taking this type of topic because most of the mental health topics, everything is the symptom is almost same, but the disorder is different. So schizophrenia is something which is actually attack in the early age. Most people they do not detect that because it went undetected because people think sometimes we are overstressed, we are depressed, but actually this is all lead to a bigger complication later life. You can see there's a three type of brain. The green one will be healthy, and there's a little bit of yellow and little bit of green will be high risk. And schizophrenia's brain will be red, yellow, the combination will be full of red, yellow, green color. So you see this is a three type of brain. So this is where you can identify. Healthy brain will be this green color. High risk, they will have certain yellow spots, a little bit of green. Schizophrenia's one, they will be have red, yellow, and green. This kind of brain, they can detect that you have been attacked by schizophrenia disorder sometime. So this is how your brain will develop. So it's better to prevent than cure. It's better to uh, take treatment, seek treatment, find out how can I improve my mental health, how to handle situations, how to help your kids if they're facing schizophrenia at young age. Furthermore, we'll go into positive symptom of schizophrenia, delusion. For example, a person with delusion may believe that people can hear their thoughts, that they are God or the devil, or that people are putting thoughts into their head or plotting against them. This is the delusion. For example, if you have a friend, A will think A and B will be talking. So A will be thinking that B is actually plotting something against me. But actually, it could be a normal conversation. They are talking about a situation. But for B, they will think, oh, this person is actually meaning me. It's not of the situation. So they will put themselves in that situation. So this actually will put them into a devil thought where they will think that, oh, you are working against me. Yeah? Actually, the situation is not like that. A might be talking about a situation. This is what happened, this is what happened. But this person with schizophrenia disorder will take and interpret in different meaning in their reality. They will think that, oh, this person is plotting against me, and all the hallucination will start to occur in their mind. And this is where the argument and withdrawal will from social everything will happen because they can't interpret, they can't understand because their mind is so messy. So sometimes if we have friends like that, it's good for us to understand them and to help them. Next will be hallucination. Less common type of include seeing things that aren't there, smelling strange odors, having funny taste in your mouth, and feeling sensation on your skin even though nothing is touching your body. Yeah, this is hallucination, but actually the things does not happen, but for you it's like it's happening. Like seeing things which is not thing. For some people they will hallucinate like the schizophrenia people like they will think that there's another person like them, you know, dual image like that. They will think, and they can smell some strange odor. But actually, for a normal person, if you have a friend, for example, they don't smell that. But for these people, will have funny taste and everything, feeling sensation that oh, somebody's watching me, somebody's looking at me. It's kind of hallucination. But actually, it's not a real thing. This is where we say that they do not know how to interpret reality and non-reality. So from this, their mind will go into another state where oh, somebody is watching me. You know, they try to get panic attack and restless and everything. So schizophrenia is very, very dangerous because it's actually attacking your nervous system, your brain. If you're not going to take steps to overcome that, it will eventually will be fatal because once your brain is overpowered by all these symptoms and everything, it's very hard to rejuvenate back into normal version of your brain. Third one will be catatonia. In this condition, the person may stop speaking and their body may be fixed in a single position for a very long time. This is will be like a paused version where these people will be like stop for a while. They can't speak. You know, while talking, they can't utter another word. They can't remember things. So they will be just like a pause. So they can't be moving for a long time. They can't come out with a word. For example, while they're talking, suddenly the mind freeze like that. So schizophrenia is very uh, common in that. People will be like when they speak, you can actually find out. If they speak as a normal person, or they have some gaps while they're speaking, or are they thinking while speaking? Actually, you can find out through certain symptom, and you can find out if this person is okay or not. Disorganized symptom of schizophrenia. Talking is using nonsense words communicate or to start a conversation. Yeah. When they talk, you can see they don't make sense. Like I just mentioned, when they talk, you can find out that, oh, is this person okay? Is she all right? The way he's talking. So shifting quickly from one thought to another. Yeah. So for them, first they will think like this, oh, this is how it might happen. Second, they will think, no, no, it could be like this. The thinking always change shift quickly, very fast. They do not interpret, they do not think, okay, this is the actual thing actually happened. But they will, keep on thinking, oh, could be like this, could be like that. They don't come to a conclusion. And they will be moving very slowly, very, very slowly, being unable to make decision. They cannot make decision. If they make decision, like I said, it will be hallucination. They do not know, oh, is this good decision or is this good decision? They can't make writing excessively but without meaning. They just write, but there's nothing meaning, just for the purpose of writing, but they don't have any meaning in writing that this can be related to kids. Sometimes they just write essay, but when you read the essay, it's nothing. It doesn't make sense. So when you spot something like that, you need to check on your kids or anyone of your sister or brother because there's something going on with them. Schizophrenia is one of the symptoms that occur like this. Forgetting or losing things. They often forget things. They can't remember what they say. And they often lost their things. They do not know where they kept the things and they will be keep on searching. This is one of the symptoms. Repeating movement or gesture like walking This is more to OCD. They'll be repeating because they're so scared. You know, hallucination. In the hallucination start, they try to behave abnormally, having problem making sense every day, like sounds and feeling. It's like when the schizophrenia attack starts, they'll be very disoriented. They will always feel a strange feeling in them, unsettling feeling. Cognitive symptom of schizophrenia, understanding information and using it to make decisions. Yeah, a doctor might call this poor executive functioning. Like we said, they can't understand the information. For example, in school, if teacher taught them something and they have to do a homework, they can't do the homework because they don't understand what the teachers taught. So they will have very less understanding because the brain is very slow. The nervous system has been attacked. So when the nervous system has been attacked, the central nervous system in your brain. So you can't, whatever people speaking, whatever you are reading, everything, nothing goes in. It's just stay out of the brain. Focusing or paying attention will be very uh, hard for them because they can't focus. When you can't focus, you can't pay attention. Basically, two things come together. Using the information immediately after learning it, it's called working memory. Yeah, they will use their information immediately after learning, they can remember at that time. But after like 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes, they don't actually know how to interpret back because when you have schizophrenia, you will start to forget things and you can interpret things. It won't stay in your brain. Recognize that they have any of this problem. If any of your few friends or anyone who have this problem, you have to find out. This is the main symptom where you can find out. Next will be lack of negative symptoms, lack of emotion or limited range of emotion. These people they don't have emotion. For example, somebody is feeling sad or somebody has mad with accident, they don't have the feeling of helping. They don't know how to spread their emotions. They'll just stay like that. If normal person will immediately will go and lend them a hand to help them. Withdrawal from withdrawal from I think the next slide. Withdrawal from now we are in the negative here. Withdrawal from family, friends and social activities. They will withdraw because they don't like mingle with people. They think that, oh, these people are plotting against me, these people are bad. When they have this hallucination, delusion, so they will start to think that, oh, I can't, these people will judge me all that. Less energy, where they will be very less energy because when they're mentally exhausted, they can't think. So there will be very less energy. Speaking less. This kind of people will be only thinking more and speaking less because they will be more concentrating on their hallucination than speaking to normal people like us. Lack of motivation. They will not have motivation. They will be very, very low esteem. Their self confidence will be very, very low. They don't motivate themselves. They don't encourage themselves to do certain things because when they try to do, they can't process things. When they can't process things, they don't feel encouraged or motivated to do. For example, kids, they don't join sports because, their mind is not there. They'll be thinking something else. So the motivation is very important. If we have young kids who facing schizophrenia, it's good to give them motivate to encourage them because it will help them. Find out a way to help them because this thing, according to research, has been attacking young kids quite number is quite more than supposed to be at this era. Loss of pleasure or interest in life. Yeah, they will never have interest because they don't mingle with people, so they don't like all this. So they lost all their interest and pleasure where they don't communicate with people, they don't mingle with people, so they don't have that pleasure, everything. They will try to be disoriented and they like to stay alone, being alone in their own world where they can interpret whatever they like. And poor hygiene and grooming habits, yeah. When their mental health is not good, you don't care about anything. You do not care about yourself because you are not yourself. So it's very, very important to find out to help people with this and to educate ourselves so that we can prevent. For example, if we are too stressed, the next level will be schizophrenia. So it's better for us to prevent now itself. Start to read, start to meditate, try to do something which can calm. Because when this thing attacks, your brain will be a mess. It will take a long time for you to rejuvenate back. Sometimes rejuvenate is not even an option because you already go to another level. Very hard things. That's why they give a very nice proverbs that prevention is better than cure because cure is another way. It's another big thing you need to do to cure all these things. So our next slide will be cause of. It's not known what cause of. Yeah, the cause is not known yet, but researchers believe that combination of genetic, brain chemistry, and environment contribution to the development of this disorder. Yeah, genetic plays a role because, according to research studies, I found out that even depression can be, we can get it through genetic. For example, our mom or dad or great grandfather had it. It's possible to pass down to another generation and also combination of your chemical brain. That's where you have to release your stress because if you do not release the stress, the chemical will be released more into your brain and all this kind of disorder will happen. For example, schizophrenia, bipolar, and etc. All type of disorder will be a combination. Neuroimaging study shows difference in the brain structure and central nervous system of people with schizophrenia. Like I showed just now the three pictures, that's the three pictures. Healthy brain, high risk, and schizophrenia because there is a green, yellow, red zone. So your healthy brain will be green. So if you have more yellow, it will be more to high risk. So once schizophrenia already, there will be more yellow, there will be red spots around. So there's a uh, interpretation for each color. So, like I said, the brain structure does not explain. So, the nervous system is very important. So, for you to keep your brain healthy, you have to exercise your brain. Do readings, refresh your mind. If you feel stressed, try to avoid the stress. Don't try to think a situation and try to interpret in different reality. When there is a situation, yes, everyone has problem. Mental health something which is everyone handles stress and everything, but we have a ways to prevent. So we don't overthink. All this happen because of overthinking. Overthinking and too much of. Sometimes people interpret a situation into a different level. Sometimes the solution will be that because they do not know how to make decision, they will just try to think and put a stress on your mind and this will create another problem and which is actually we are the cause of our stress level. Actually we can find way to do that. So it's better to take care of our mental health than we bear the consequences later on. So next slide will be risk factors. Having a family history of schizophrenia, yeah, like I said, if we have family genetic, there is chances of we pass on. So we take care of our genetic so that we don't do that. We don't pass it to another person because we do not know how people handle. Different people handle different. Yes, some people they will overcome. Some people until the end they cannot overcome it. It could be a fatal. So some pregnancy and birth complications such as malnutrition or exposure to toxin or virus that may impact brain development. Yes, this is unavoidable things. This is something happens sometimes, you know, when virus attack or meningitis, all this can cause. This is another cause where this one we can't handle because this is out of our control. But the first one we still can control because the genetics controlled by us. When we can handle our mental health, I think we can. Next will be taking mind altering life. Psychotropic drugs during teen and young adults. Yeah, drugs is one of the cause because when you take drugs, for example, there's a methamphetamine and a lot of drugs nowadays coming out. Young kids are accessing through some people, some people are doing all these bad acts. So when they access that, when they take that, drugs go into your brain, it will boost, you know, it will make you into a different person. So when you engage into this kind of drugs in very young age, your brain will be release all this kind of chemical where when you gets old or when you aged, all the schizophrenia, mm, bipolar, all these are possible 50% than normal person who do not access drugs because drugs we do not know the chemical in drugs will do that. Drugs we always watch documentary or read in the news. People does crime out of drugs, overuse of drugs has killed somebody. When the person access drugs, there will be somebody their mind is not in their control. So all this will contribute to your mental health. Drugs is the main culprit for mental health to be destroyed. So be wise, do not take drugs, do not access drugs because drugs will ruin your life and you have to bear the consequences forever in your life. So our next slide will be complications of schizophrenia, suicide, attempt suicide, and also suicide. These people when their mind is not stable, will be very hallucination. Hallucination will be very, very uncomfortable because you feel like something is disturbing you. So to avoid that, to come out from the situation, the only way that is suicide. They will suicide. So eventually it will cost a life. So that's the reason I'm telling you, please take care of your mental health. Don't stress yourself because when you stress yourself, you overstress and the only thing you will think about is, oh, I need to come on. When you want to come on, automatically all this negative thought will overflow your brain and eventually will cause your life. Second will be anxiety disorder. They will be always anxiety, scared, and OCD also starts because they'll be very scared. Even though they know the place is clean, but for them, the hallucination, they will think, no, 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 this is not. For them, in their back of their brain, the reality will be different. Depression. When you overthink, it will lead to depression. Abuse of alcohol or other drugs. Yeah, they will start to take other things to overcome this situation, to calm their mind. So when they took drugs, they'll feel a little bit feel better. So they will use it as a behavior. And eventually, when you take drugs, what will do? Inability to work or attend school. They can't attend school because they will be very disturbed. They are very restless, so they can't concentrate. So when they go to school, for them, it's nothing. What the teacher is teaching, they cannot concentrate because whatever the teacher is teaching, nothing goes into the child's mind. And for working adult, they can't work because they feel that somebody is looking at them. For them, those who run them are devils like that. In one word, we can define that. Financial problem and homeless. When they don't work, they don't have money. So they don't have money, they will literally will be in street. So they can't pay anything, they can't make decision, they do not know. Because literally they will be like crazy people. Another way if you want to define because they do not know what's going on with them. So when they don't overcome this, all this will lead for them. All this will happen because they can't work, they will kick out from the work and they will lose all their financial homeless and etc. Social isolation. They will not be they will not intervene into a community or they don't mingle with people because they don't like people. They'll think that, oh, if I talk to this person may harm me. This person is talking bad about me. The delusion, the hallucination that they think. So they will never have a good impression on people. Always they see people with negative thoughts. Health and medical problems. When your brain is not functioning properly, if you have schizophrenia, automatically your cardiovascular will be affected, your lungs will be affected, all your system will be affected because nervous system is the main, it's like the main thing which control your bodies, all your nerve and everything. So when you have a very bad mental health, all will start to fail and you will actually not only face this kind of mental health problem, but also your health problem will deteriorate eventually. Being victimized. Yeah, this kind of people will be easily victimized because people will take advantage on them, taking advantage, bullying them, making them more worse into their symptoms, and the situation will be like when people, they will be thinking more, oh, why this person is, not being nice to me, attacking me. So they will be a victim of bullying, etc. Abuse, aggressive behavior. Yeah, they will have aggressive behavior because, like we said, for them, they will have their own meaning, their own interpretation. So when you try to say something, they will interpret in a wrong way, and there's chances. And when the mental health is not good, they'll be very aggressive. They don't like you to come here. They don't like to talk to people. They do all this to avoid people, so they become aggressive and etc. Next will be prevention. There's no sure way to prevent schizophrenia, but sticking with the treatment plan can help prevent relapse or worsening of the symptom. In addition, researchers hope that the learners learning more about risk factors of schizophrenia may lead to earlier diagnosis and treatment. Yes. When we have symptom or we find out people with a symptom, we try to help them. Like I said, prevention is better than cure. We always have to find a way to prevent. Try to prevent our mental health, try to maintain our mental health, try to do a routine check of what's going on. For example, if you have a situation you can't handle yourself, please talk to your friends. Find out. When you talk to somebody, you feel sense of relief. You know, when you share something with people, you feel that okay, your burden is released. When your friend is giving some opinion, you can take that. So this is one of the way for you to release your stress and everything. If you keep everything inside, it's actually burdening you, stressing your mind will be like a heavy, when you place a heavy stone on your brain, it's like, you can't move. It's like that. One word we can process that. I can say that. So take it easy. There's always solution for every problem. Do not stress yourself because there's no problem then that cannot be solved. Everything is temporary. Nothing impossible for you to solve. So take it everything slowly. If you're facing something, try to overcome that. Try to find out, okay, how I'm going to overcome this. I'm not going to let this ruin my mental health because when my mental health is ruined, a lot of complication will happen because this is eventually will affect my overall health. So it's better to find out. I hope this topic has give some eye opening because when I have tried to go through this topic, there's a lot of things to be learning because sometimes when we see somebody, they might be facing, could be early stage. Maybe we cannot tell them, but we can actually educate them through communication. Sometimes your friends do not know how to handle these things. You can help. We can do that. As a human, we have to help each other. If we have a friends who facing abuse and everything, be a listener to their worries, to their problems. It will give some sense of release for them so that they don't go into this kind of disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar, or etc., which can actually ruin their life and their mental health. Next slide will be okay. I think we have reached the end of the webinar, but I'd like to give a conclusion. If you're diagnosed or you have this kind of disorder, There is a lot of treatment available now in this modern era. So you can go and consult doctor. You can find out the treatment, how to get back your mental health, how to handle all this. So please stick to the treatment and everything. So before going to the treatment, it's better for you to handle your situation because treatment is already considered as a cure. So prevention is like you prevent everything before it could lead to some complications. So it's better for us to meditate our brain, refresh our brain, try to do reading, exercise, all this overcome the stress. When we feel stress, just put aside and we go out, do some exercise, refresh the mind, sit, think how to sort out the problem. Don't make the problem into another complicated situation where it will be very hard to handle. So, like I said, there's no problem, there's no very big problem that cannot be sorted out at all. Everything there is a solution in this world. So if we need somebody to talk, go out and talk to your friends, talk to your parents. As a parents, we need to find out our kids' behavior. We have to see, we have to focus. If we have brothers, sister, we have to always, as a human, we have to have this communication. It's very important because when you don't communicate, only all this happens. And one of the advices nowadays, I think, since the modern technology, the phone has become the one of the main source of mental health disorder, according to me, because I think that after the technology has developed, the smartphone has occurred. I think everyone has forget to have face-to-face communication. Nowadays, if you go out in a mall or if you sit in a restaurant to have a dinner, you can see everybody is focusing on the phone. Nobody even sitting opposite. They're not even talking to face to face. Everybody is busy publishing status, memes, and everything. I think we should avoid that sometime. Everything we need to use according to time, and there is a limit. You don't go over limit because when you go over limit, this is what happens. One of the reason overusing mobile also can cause your mental health because mobile there's a negative, there's a positive. So it's very important for us to practice face-to-face communication because that's the best communication that exists since before. And because of that communication, the world has developed into this technology era. It's not because of this smartphone. So we need to hold on that communication. We have to communicate face to face. We can't do everything in mobile. Face to face communication gives you a better relief than your communicating through phones because the emotion, the socialize, and the way you talk, the environment, everything gives you a better mental health state. When you talk to somebody in the phone, the feeling will be different than talking physically. So I believe that all of us have to keep this because this is something which we have to practice to rejuvenate our brain, our mental health, and to keep our mental health stable and to have happy life and bright future. I hope this topic has been informative for a lot of y'all to get some information from this, to learn from this, and I hope this topic has given you a lot of information. And thank you so much for spending your time listening to this topic, and I really appreciate that. And if you have any question, please let me know. And thank you so much. Stay safe. It's schizophrenia 100% curable. Like I said, there's a treatment. It's depend on you how you going to handle that. If you think you can cure, yes, you can cure. It's all in your brain. Because when we think positive, we will act positive. It's all within us. If we think we can do it, we can do it. There's nothing we can't do it.
Thank you, ma'am. That was amazing. Now, if you have any question regarding this topic, then please type your question on comment section.
What type of therapy for schizophrenia? Yes, they have a lot of therapies. Like for example, like yoga, running. This type of therapy. If you goes to doctor, consult a doctor, they'll give you medication. But medication does not help. It will give you rest to sleep. But therapy, you need to go and join a group. You need to go and get yourself rejuvenate your brain, like going for exercise, trying something new, reading book, enrolling in cooking class, to make your mental health back to stable. You don't sit in your hallucination delusional world where things are not real. How soon after starting medication will I begin to get better? The medication, I have a friend, she was diagnosed with mental health disorder, but actually medicine will not help you 100% because it's all about you. You need to work on yourself. You need to, like I said, medication will only help you to ease your brain, to release your stress, to put you to sleep, to get you rest. But for you to rejuvenate your brain back, your mental health back, is like you have to try out things like handle your situation, going out, getting exercise, reading, refreshing your mind and everything. Go and talk to people. If you're isolating yourself, please go and open up to people. Try to have some gatherings and all that. When you gather, everything will be all right because you start to speak, you start to open up. So all this therapy will help you to get better. In other words, only human can help another human. Medicine, yes, it will only a certain part, but most of the part it's all you because we are human have all the power to change our life as how we want. We can destroy our life at the same time we can mend back our life. That's how human life works. Because this system is our system. We know how to handle the system. Oh, like I said, schizophrenia, dementia, all these have different sets of symptoms and everything. There is a connection, all is connected to mental health, but the symptom, the prevention, everything will be different. That's the difference between the four illness, but everything related to mental health. Schizophrenia more to behavior, more of your behavior, your thinking, and everything. What are the chances that the symptom will stop? When you start to work on yourself, you can find out that you are getting better. Because when we're getting better, we know how we are overcoming our symptoms. So you can find out yourself. You can see changes in yourself. Which therapy is mostly used for schizophrenia patients? Most of the therapy they use is like counseling. They'll counsel you first. They'll find out what's going on with you, and they will try to have section of counseling, finding out what actually bothering you, what are the things actually which is giving you stress to your brain. Counseling section, and they will find out most of the section available is counseling. They will have few section of counseling to find out what you're going through and how to overcome. That's where they will come up with treatment plan. But if you ask me personally, you can do yoga because yoga is body and it's connected. So when you do yoga, when you do running, when you do exercise, your body and your mind is connected. So it refresh your mind and it give you a new strength. Can schizophrenia live normal life? If you are diagnosed, then it's hard for you to live a normal life because, like I said just now in the webinar, you can't because when you have this disorder, you can't mingle with people. So for you to lead a normal life, because normal life you don't have this kind of hallucination, delusion, and everything. So if you are diagnosed with that, it's better for you to seek treatment and find a way to overcome because it will disturb you. You can't live a normal life because schizophrenia is like something which is disturbing you, something like you have something in your mind which always disturbs you. So it's very hard to lead a normal life. They will try to have a normal life, but they can't because of the symptom and the disorder will always be. So for you to have a normal life, you have to overcome your symptoms and you have to get. Can I be happy with schizophrenia? Of course, not happy because people with this disorder they will always feel disoriented. They feel less energy. They are not happy. They can't be happy. They can pretend to be happy, but actually, that's just the hallucination. In a real person, they can't be happy. They will be always hiding their emotions. Yes, it can help brain health. How to prevent schizophrenia? It's very simple. Try to handle your stress. If you have problem, talk to your parents. If you're facing some problem in your workplace, try to talk to your employee. Try to handle your situation immediately. Don't let the situation get into your mind. You stress yourself, you get anxiety, you get panic attack. So it's very important for you to handle your situation daily basis. So if you're thinking you're getting easily stressed out, try to overcome that. Try to handle your stress level. Try to keep your mental state calm. Yes, social environment is very important. When you socialize, when you talk to people, it's very helpful to clear schizophrenia because when you talk, you're actually opening up to people. You're not keeping anything to yourself. People with this disorder always like to isolate themselves. Likes to keep themselves alone so they don't mingle with people. So social environment is very important in this for us to lead a happy life and stressful life. Who don't need a friend to share? Who don't need a friend to hang out, right? We all are humans, so we are not aliens or something we can live alone. We all need family, we all need friends, we all need somebody to listen to our problems. I guess they are available when you consult a doctor. The doctor will comes up with plan, but I'm not sure what are the uh, medicines available. But when you go and consult doctor, they'll give you counseling and they will give you the right treatment to not worse your situation, but to improve your situation. In this modern era, there are a lot of new method of treatment has been introduced. Yes, when you isolate yourself and everything, automatically it can lead you to schizophrenia because it's one of the symptom or one of the negative symptom that schizophrenia people face. So it's better don't isolate yourself. Please be in group. Please be with your friends. Please be with your family, so that all these things will not empower you and cause you trouble and put you into a big stressful life later on.
That was amazing. Marvelous, ma'am. We are obliged to you for your marvelous presentation and give us your precious time. This session will
Yeah.
be effective for our audience because you shared your intelligible knowledge with us. Dear knowledge seekers, I would love to thank you all from my deep heart for attending today's sessions. Hopefully, you learned something new and you will implement in your life. Please spread this information with your beautiful friends, knowledge seekers. You will get free certificates after 2 to 3 days, so please submit attendance form accurately and add your remarks related to this webinar in comment section or attendance form. All members will get certificate via Drive link and link will share in our official Ask Webinar WhatsApp group. We hope to see you all again in next webinar. Thank you so much. Stay happy, stay safe.